Hey all, I am from Hummy's World, hummysworld.com, and I've done another video on the new interface in Photoshop Elements, and this is the second video in the series where I am going to show you what is new in Photoshop Elements. I have people always asking me whether or not I think it's good to upgrade to the next version, if not anything new has come out that is worthwhile. So we're going to look at all the new things in Photoshop Elements 11. I have them listed here for our convenience and also for my convenience, so I do not forget any of them. The first thing that we're going to review is that there are 4 new photo effects. Now, I don't ever use these. I may get in and play with them, but I've never really used them in past versions because I can do everything that they say manually. But we're going to go ahead and get this picture of the back of my niece with her hair, and you're going to see in a little while why we're using that. I'm going to go into the guided mode, and here are the new photo effects, which is kind of cool. They're kind of cool because they're the in photo effects. They're the popular new ones that everybody is using, and that is high key, low key, tilt shift, and vignette. These are the new ones. If you click high key, you're going to see it comes up with these options, and you can choose to run it either in color or black and white. I'm just going to do color, and you can see it makes a high key image where it makes the highlights even lighter. You have an option to add a diffuse glow. It doesn't work well with this photo, but you can click and add that. I'm not going to do it. And then click Done. Now when you're done, you want to go, this is the key, go back to the expert mode, because if you're trying to learn how to do these manually on your own, you can come back in here and you can see it duplicated my layer. I'm going to double click on this. I can see it made a levels adjustment. Where'd my layers go? And I can see it made a brightness contrast. Now, it's too bright for me, so see, I'm going to take that down. So you can go in here and adjust it after you've set it. And then this would be my before, and that would be my after. And so if you don't like the effect, we can just drag each of these layers to the layers, the delete icon, and we're done. And now here's low key, and what it does, you can choose black and white or color. So then the low key brings out the dark areas, and it tells you exactly in here what it does. Optional, use this brush to fade out any unwanted elements in the background. It didn't work well with my photo. It might work well with other photos. And so here are the layers that you can go in here and analyze and see what it did. We have a photo filter, we have hue and saturation, and this is where we would brush out part of it. And so we're going to get rid of all those extras and go back in. Tilt shift. That is a cool thing that makes it doesn't work well with this photo, but it makes things look like a miniature model. Like if you took a picture of a train station and then you added the tilt shift effects, it would look like a miniature model of a train station. So it works better on images like this one here. But I can add tilt shift, and what it does is puts a blur on it, and you can modify the area that its focus is on. See, let's say I want more of her face. See, and it's blurred out here. And then you can also refine the effect with the tools here, add more blur or contrast, saturation. So When you're done, you go back in here and you see what it did. And it actually applied a gradient to it. I mean, how easy is that to do on your own? But they're good. It might give you a start, and you can go back in here, see what it does, and refine it. And the last one is very cool. I usually used an action for this, even though you can do it on your own. So this is one I might probably come in here to use, because I actually kind of like this vignette effect. And so you can have the black vignette or the white. Depends on the color of your photo, what you want. I don't know, try them both. But here's the black on this one, and this is the vignette where it puts this around the outer edge, and you can choose the intensity of it, which is just like lowering the opacity to the layer. And I don't like them when they're all black like that. I generally will make them real faded, and you can refine the shape, the feather of it, to feather it out more, or the roundness of it. See, it takes it back. It makes it more round or less round. And so then when you're done, you can go in here and see what it did. And if you want to, like what I often do after I run the action I have, is I will select my layer mask and go in here with the brush. Remember, on masks, white reveals, black conceals, and let's say I didn't want this, I'm going to change to black, to be covering up her body so much. And so I would come in here and, whoops, white reveals, I got the wrong one, and reveal more of her back, and make sure this mask was not anywhere on her actually. So you can come in and see now I got a funny, it's not a circle, it's funny shaped, but make sure all of her is still bright. So speaking of something frustrating in Photoshop Elements 11, every time I can close this out, and if I change my tool, it brings this up. Close this out. Maybe I want to put type. Oh, but I didn't want to see this yet. It drives me batty because it takes up so much space. We can fix that. Right here is an options, and you see where auto show tool options is clicked. It took me a while to find this because I was looking under the preferences. I'm going to uncheck that. Now when I change from tool to tool, this doesn't pop up, and it only pops up when I tell it to. Definitely recommend that for those that's driving batty like me. Literally made me not want to use Photoshop Elements 11. So I was happy to find that. And so we have now gone through and done all the new photo effects under the guided menu. Now there are 4 new filters, and we're not going to go into them in great detail. I'm just going to show you quickly where they are at. So we have first, we have the lens blur, filter, blur, lens blur. None of these bring up the gallery. Let's see if I can make this smaller so you can see all of it. None of these bring up the gallery, so you can't switch between one or the other. They all bring up their own pop-up. By gallery, I mean the filter gallery. And you can change the settings here, play around. So this is the, whoops, don't like noise. This is the lens blur, and that it will be fun to play with. And then the other ones are all under the sketch. We have pen and ink, filter, sketch. I haven't actually played with all of these. Pen and ink. And I see we have blue, purple, gray tones, green inversion. So I like gray tones, and we can bring out more details. Let's see, the width, contrast. Ooh. So you can get in here and play around with the settings. And then the pen part, ooh, see, that's cool. I made it green, and I can change this and make it blue or whatever color I want. The fill is also changeable. So I kind of like it. Ah, look, I like the white that brought out. Anyway, let's go into the next one. Comic. Filter, where were we at? Sketch, comic. And we have grayscale comic, sunny day comic, old print comic. That looks classic, more classic comic to me for this photo. We don't want too many shades. Vibrance. So you play with the sliders. Apply smoothness. Okay. She's looking more or less comic-y. Not crazy about this one. Thickness, maybe that's what I need. Yeah, okay. So it's not good for my particular photo. The last one is the graphic novel. Sketch, graphic novel, and we have painted gray, fine detail, hard edges, or twisted plot. Kind of like hard edges if I could get more of them to come out. So there are the 4 new filters that have been added in Photoshop Elements. Now, the reason I have this curl photo is because it's probably one of the better things that have come out in Photoshop Elements is the Refine Edge dialog box. Now, this was always there. If you didn't know, it was there. Not always, but in recent versions. But what they have done is to bring in the same precise control over selections that you have in Photoshop, the full version in CS. I do believe it came out in CS5, and it's of course in CS6 also. And so they've added that to Photoshop Elements. And what this is great for is selecting furry things like hair and dog fur and anything that, you know, maybe little thingies sticking out from a flower, fringe, that sort of thing. So the tool was there in Photoshop, I'm pretty sure. I saw it, but they didn't have the Smart Radius option or the Refine Radius tool and the new output options. So let's take a look at them. We have this photo here of her hair, and what I'm going to do is select the quick select. I keep right clicking to get to my tools. The quick selection tool, and so it's this one, not the brush. It's the default one actually. And I'm going to make sure, because I was playing with it, I'm on the new selection, and I'm going to go ahead. You know, I can change my use my bracket keys to change the size of this. Oh, now you see it's come all the way out here. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and try to get rid of that. And so you can see it doesn't do very well at picking up all this hair outside. It's really difficult. And this is what the Refine Edge is going to do. So I'm going to open my tool options again, and I'm going to click on Refine Edge, and it brings up this box, which I'm going to tuck away. Nope, I'm going to click cancel. I found out that I have to zoom in before I bring up that dialog box. if I'm going to see better what I'm doing. So we're going to, oh, I don't have a selection anymore. Let's make one. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And this is what drives me batty, because you have to have the tool open in order to get the dialog box. But once you get the dialog box open, you can't. Oh, you can. Well, all right. I didn't notice that before. I tried clicking this. Oh, I don't know what I did before. But you can change your brush size, I suppose. And then get rid of that. And what we're going to do is simply draw some more around where we want to have it find the hair, and let go, and you're going to see it found it. You see it's on a white background. I can change it if I want to see exactly where the hair is. I have to zoom in and out. It drives me batty a little bit. Like the tool, I wish I could zoom in and out. I'm going to try to find these areas, or you can put it on an overlay, which I don't like. You can put it on black, which you see some of this. Why is that tool bouncing? Probably because I don't have my thing on full screen. It is not finding her cheeks very well. But see, it just found those edges very well. You can also put it on white, which the white, see, doesn't show that it's not selecting all of her face. Ah! Okay. So we're going to just do like this and try to find the edges. You can see it's finding the wispy hair really well. There's actually a spot in here that it wasn't selecting very well earlier. You can do like this to see your selection, which is just black and white. You can see on layers, you can reveal layer. So I mainly go between black and white because it's important to look at it on both of these. But you can see how it's picking up her hair, but not a whole lot. It's doing well. I wish it would pick up. It's showing a lot of the white in her face. Edge detection, so we could bring that up and maybe get better results. We can shift the edge out more, which is kind of what I'm thinking we need to do on my particular photo, but then you see it brings in some of the background look in here if we go way up. So I don't know. We don't need all of that. So then you can choose, well, there's the decontaminate colors, which is an option which I kind of like. It seems to be making it work well. Well, I'm going to leave it down here. So then here is the options to output, which is new. And you can output it and just make a selection on your current photo. You can just make a layer mask. You can do a new layer with a layer mask, a whole new document, or a document with a layer mask. And I like this one because that's most workable for me, new layer with a layer mask. And I'm going to click OK. And you're going to watch it run, and there it is. It created a new layer and it put a layer mask on it. So I'm going to turn off these originals. What is it doing? What did it do? Well, that's just about odd. Hit undo. I have no idea. Let's redo. So I should be able to turn off and make invisible. Oh, I had another one down here from something else. There we go. I just wasn't making them all invisible when I thought I was. Okay, so we have here our new layer with our photo and the mask. And now remember where it was showing through on her cheek here? What I'm going to want to do then is go back and get the brush, and remember, black reveals, white conceals, or white reveals, black conceals. And so I'm going to put it on white. I'm going to use my bracket key to make this smaller. Make sure I'm on my thumbnail of the mask. You see the blue around it. And I'm going to draw right in here to make sure it is masking out all of her face. And I can go to the black and make sure it looks like it got a little bit too much of her. Make this really small. My local news keeps sending me text messages. I wonder what's going on. So I can go in here and refine it. But you can see it did a really good job. Look at it, the hair that it got. Just amazing. So if extracting hair is important to you, then this would be a great tool to get. But you would have to go back in and, fix it up after you do it. And I can take my background layer and hit Control-I and see what it's done on the black, because that's where my errors were. And you see I probably need to reveal some more right in here. See, so I would go back in here and hit undo. Be careful not to get too much. And you see it didn't get all of her lip. And so I can really fine-tune this better with the black background. So anyway, that is a good thing to do. And we're going to go see what else is new in this program. I'm trying to get all these photo layers off. All right, there we go. So the next thing that's new is the action player. And I have, you've seen I've changed my interface, so I have my actions up here. That's from the first video. And let's go back to the layers and turn one of these layers on. And I'm going to go back into my action player, and you see it comes with some actions, and it's really cool because you can actually see what the steps are in the actions, just like you can in the full version of Photoshop. But I also have an option to load actions. If you click on this drop-down menu, you can't see it, it just went off the screen. But then you will have load actions, and I have these from the Pioneer Woman. They're awesome, awesome, awesome actions. So I'm going to choose the Black and White Beauty to load it, and you can see it loaded here, and I can see all the steps. So if I want to learn kind of so I can do it on my own, that is awesome. So I'm going to select the action, and I'm going to press play. It lets me know the credits. And let's stop the action. It doesn't work. These actions, I forgot, do not work well on layers. You have to get a copy of your image. Let's do open, and the curls. So I have a brand new file just on one layer. Let's go back into this action and press play, and there it goes. So super, super cool. That is, so if you get actions in here you don't like, you can select that action, and you can't see it because it's going out of your screen, but click this drop down and then choose delete, and it asks you if you want to delete the selected ones, and I say yes. Oh, I still have a folder, and I'm going to delete that folder, and there we go. I've gotten rid of that action. Now let's close this out, and the next thing that we're going to learn is that it now loads styles just as easily. So in the style effects, I'm going to click this same drop down menu, and it's going off the screen, and I'm going to click load styles off the recording area screen. And I've got some in here. I want to load, let's say, this Action FX Metals. And I'm going to click load, and it takes just a minute, but you're going to see it appear right here in your drop-down menu, and it's already organized. No more of those organizing things, and I can just choose a style to apply it. Why is it not applying it? Let's go back to my layers. Don't have a layer selected. There. So here's the various metal styles that I have from Action FX. So that's pretty cool how quickly I can load those actions. What I got going on here. I'm trying to get back to this. Okay, the last two things on here are the photo merge. The photo merge is now found under the enhanced drop-down menu. I think it was previously under the edit, I believe. So if you're looking for it, or the file, one of those over there. If you're looking for the photo merge and you can't find it, it's just in a new place under the enhanced drop-down menu. And the last thing is that there's more instant sharing options. Of course, that is in the organizer. If you bring up the organizer, right here it says share, and you have some options to share directly to Facebook and YouTube and Flickr and some of the other places you may have that you might want to upload to. And so that is it for this tutorial, and I hope you see some things that maybe might want you to upgrade. Certainly loading styles and loading actions, big plus, that would make me want to upgrade. And the refine edge in the selection tool for the hair, that would make me want to upgrade. And so I do think that you may want to upgrade to this if those things are things that you use a lot. Styles especially, I use styles a lot. Oh, I didn't go over, you can delete these styles the same, just right here in this drop down. You can't see it, it's gone off the screen, but it says delete Action FX Metals, which is the one I'm on, and I can choose delete, and just like that it's gone. So if you are considering upgrading and loading actions are important to you and loading styles are important to you, or selecting fur and hair is important to you, I would recommend upgrading to this program. I think those are pretty good advancements. I'll see you around the forum and Facebook. Look me up, facebook.com/digital scrapbooking is where I'm at on Facebook. Twitter, I am Humming is me, and on Google Plus also, and the website.